This is Debbie, and this is part two of my Fall Tour 2016, How Debbie Does It. Now I'm going to be showing you my family room, my dining room, and my bedroom. And let's get started. This is the entryway to my house. I have a garland up of grapevine and just some lights with some silk florals in it. A couple of inexpensive garlands that I wound around the grapevine. I have a bench that sits at my front window, and I have a cute milk jug that I painted back in the 80s with just some florals in there. It's actually some inexpensive leaf bushes with a few little more expensive taller flowers to kind of set it off, and I'll show you that a little closer. There's my milk jug. That's just painted. A painted old jug. You could put have a million different ideas for these jugs too. Right now I just got a floral display in there with some little scarecrow picks. In this corner I have an old corner table that I think someone probably handmade it. It fits perfectly in that corner. I have some baskets underneath it. Everything here, the baskets and the table, those are all from the thrift store. And then I just have a cute little squirrel on there with some pumpkins and my Scentsy burner and a candle. That squirrel I got at Big Lots a couple of years ago. Everything, including the linens that you see in my house, everything is all pretty much from thrift stores or garage sales. And that sign, Harvest Blessings, I think I got that at Ross this year. This is looking from my entryway as you come in the front door of my house. And I have an old baby spring on the wall that was off of my grandchildren's baby crib. And I just hang pictures on it with some little clothespins. I've got some leaves on there. And this is another one of those really versatile things that you could use in your own home. You could put it in the kitchen and hang utensils off of it. You could hang recipes off of it, your grocery list. You could put actual picture frames on there. You could put hanging pots with flowers in it on that. There's just a million different things that you can do with it. It's super versatile, and I love it. It's like a piece of art on my wall, and I can change it up all the time. This is looking over my love seat area. And one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do these home tours is to show you that you can take things that you wouldn't ordinarily think would work and make them such a focal point in your house. This is an old shutter that I got at an antique store. It gets changed out for all the holidays. Right now it's just got some signs on it and some fall garland, and actually that garland and the tin garland that's weaved in there with it was all from the thrift store. The shelf that you see above that was a freebie. I got 2 of those shelves at a garage sale for free, and that one fit perfectly over the top of that shutter, and I just love it. It's a big focal point in my house, and it can always be changed up. It's always fun to decorate. I'll get a little closer so that you can take a look. This is looking towards my couch. That star quilt that you see was purchased at a garage sale, kind of a flea market place. And then the table, I've got a bowl on there with some pine cones and some little pumpkins. I'll get closer so that you can see that. Just inexpensive things. Every little kind of fall touch. I've got some all over my house. But any little thing just makes a difference. Any little pumpkin setting somewhere. Even if you're on a small budget, just get started. You have to collect things a little bit as you go, but that's how it works for all of us. And I think just doing any kind of little fall touches here and there really brightens up your home this time of year. This is looking at my fireplace in my family room. I just have some silk garland on there with a happy fall sign that I got at Ross. Those floral arrangements that you see up there, the vases were actually silver tins, bright silver tins, and I just painted them with brown paint so that they looked old. They've got some just floral picks in there with a couple of those lighted branches, and I got a bunch of these branches this year, and the reason why I did is because they were 50% off at the craft sale, at the craft store, I'm sorry. So it was a great time to buy them because they can be pretty expensive if you're paying full price for them. That 10 of Hearts sign that you see, it's actually a big tin sign, was at the craft store. When I first saw it, it was super expensive, and I thought, well, I'm not going to buy it when it's that expensive. I'll just wait and see if they still have them there. Maybe they'll go on sale. I went back about 3 weeks later, and I got it for $20. So I thought that was a pretty good deal because it's really big. It's a pretty big sign. I'll get closer so you can see my floral. So these are my vases that I have on my fireplace, and like I said, they've got the lighted branches in them and just some flowers stuck in there haphazardly. There isn't an actual arrangement in there. It's just a bunch of stuff I stuck in there to try to make it look cute. And then those mason jar lights that you see with the little tea lights in them, those I got at the craft store a couple weeks ago, and they were only $2.50. So I have 2 of those up there. Okay, now we're looking from the living room into my dining room. And I love the way my dining room looks this year for fall. I've got some cute things in there, and I think I just put those corner shelves in this summer. They were back in our office, and I moved them into the dining room, and I think they're super cute because you can really do a lot of things with shelves. I'll get closer so that you can see. Here's my dining room table this year. Those geese that you see were actually, my husband got me from Costco, and they're actually supposed to be out in the yard. But I love the way they look, so I keep them on my dining room table. They could have little bows around their necks or little wreaths. I just love the way they look on there. I have them mixed in with some glass pumpkins that I got at Big Lots a couple of years ago. And behind them is my hutch. The pottery that you see in that hutch is Frankoma pottery. My mother collected it in the 70s, and now it's mine, and I use it for all the holidays. It's the perfect color. It looks beautiful in the spring with pastel colors. For Easter, it looks beautiful in the summertime with poppies or sunflowers and plaid tablecloths. It looks beautiful, obviously, for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So it gets used, and it fits perfectly in that hutch. I have a little display in the open area of the hutch that's just got a little fruit topiary in there with some leaves wrapped around an old mirror and a sign. Above that, I have a basket with some pumpkins and some leaves in it, and It's a Wonderful Life sign and an old toy barn that my husband got me. Looking into this corner over here is the shelves, and these are fun. You could do a lot of, you could change shelves up all the time too. I have books in there right now with just some two-dimensional leaves that I got at the dollar store that kind of brighten things up in there. I've got some pumpkins and some little tea light owls in there. I think it's going to be really fun to decorate for Christmas this year too. Looking this way at my window, I have an old antique window just hanging in the window, and a chicken sign. That chicken sign I got at Marshall's, not Marshall's, Home Goods here in the Pacific Northwest. And then I just have a silk fern in the corner over there. This is my picture wall in my dining room. This is where one of my other free shelves comes in. It just hangs along the wall there, and I set some of my Frankoma on it, mixed in with some apples and some leaves and some family pictures. The whole thing is really just pictures and signs. And a picture wall is really fun. You could do a lot of different things to picture walls too. I get a lot of ideas off of Pinterest. I get a lot of ideas from the home tours that I watch on YouTube of your homes, and they really inspire me. I hope that my house inspires you too. This is my bedroom. The headboard that you see behind my bed are actually 2 closet doors that I purchased at the local hardware store, and I brought them home and antiqued them. And then I have some garland, some lighted garland up there. And then I just got some lanterns and some baskets and things from IKEA, and I screwed them on, so you can change that out all the time and do different things with it. My bed is red and white. The bedding was from IKEA. Some of it, the pillows, a lot of those I got from the Goodwill. The plaid ones you see are from the Goodwill. A lot of those are just handmade. The 2 long ones were actually placemats that I turned into pillows. And then the bolsters that you see are covered with an old duvet that I found that was red and white. And I just cut it up and made bolster pillows out of it. I'll get closer so that you can see the headboard. Those baskets that you see have got some little potted plants in them. Those blue and white plates that you see I just purchased at the thrift store last weekend when I was shopping with my friend. And also those little vases that you see were from the thrift store. Looking at this dresser, these are old antique dressers that were my grandmother's, and I just have some more of those pinkish red bottles on there. And those bottles I have an idea for. I'm going to be doing a Christmas tea party for my grandchildren, and I have some ideas there, so when I get my table setting done, I will download a video of that. Another one of those blue plates that I got from the thrift store last weekend, and then that's just an old window with a sign hanging off of it. This is looking at my other dresser. I just have an old antique mirror over the top of the dresser with some picture frames and pictures on it. That clock that you see is actually kind of a mini grandfather's clock that my husband got me from Walmart, and that's been a long time ago, probably 10, 12, maybe 15 years ago. And then some LED candles on a candle holder. The picture frames were from the thrift store, and so was the candle holder. This little dresser that you see I got at a flea market, kind of a flea market garage sale. I think it's a little vanity. It's actually got a little mirror behind it. And I just brought it home and antiqued it and decoupaged the front of it. And it now sits in my bedroom. It's got shelves in it, so you could put pictures in there, picture books in there, or cookbooks, or you could use it in a million different places in your house. It could be a little vanity in your bathroom. You've got a lot of things you could do with that. This is the sitting room off my bedroom. And this room is a work in progress. We just recently moved a bunch of exercise equipment out of here, and we're turning it into a sitting room. So this is where I have an idea for 2 more shutters that I'd like to put on each side of that window with some wall sconces on it. So when I get that done, I'll download and show you guys. That blanket I just got last weekend at a thrift store. It's a beautiful wool winter blanket. That will look so pretty on my bed at Christmas time this year. And then over in this corner, we just have our little electric fireplace that we put in here with a mirror above it, and then it's got a little floral display for fall in an old tin planter that has little faucets attached to it, and just some silk picks and a sunflower garland that I have in there. So there we go. That's the end of my fall tour for 2016, How Debbie Does It. I'm also going to be downloading a Thanksgiving table setting, my Christmas decorating part 1 and part 2, and the Christmas tea party setting that I'm going to have for my grandchildren. So bye for now, and thanks for watching.